have just a little more time for anyone that wishes to speak this morning. There are forms out on the podium out front to fill out. Angie up front here is the individual that takes those, so I'm going to give everyone a few more moments to fill out their forms that would like to speak either at the beginning of the meeting or after the meeting. So if you would, we'll give you a few more moments to do that.
After the meeting?
Y'all can go back to visiting. I'd like to welcome you all to Commissioners Court. We appreciate you being here today. I know we've got a house full, but I do want to say something real quick. 2 weeks ago, many of you know my oldest son was involved in a car accident, or in a motorcycle accident. I want to thank you all for your prayers and support. He is doing well and recovering very quickly. So for all of y'all, much appreciation and thanks for your prayers and warm wishes to us. I greatly appreciate it. So, as we do always, this morning we have Brother Dan Rogers to lead us in our invocation, and Commissioner McCann will lead us in our prayers. So if you would, please rise with us.
Would you bow with me, please? Father, we come before you today, and we are a blessed people. We thank you for all the ways in which you have blessed not only the state of Texas, but especially Henderson County. Father, we pray for these men and women who represent this court and for those who work within our county to work with us and for us. Father, we pray a special blessing on them. We are so thankful, Father, for the resources you have blessed this county with, the rain that you have sent our way to fill our lakes and our ponds and our tanks. And Father, we pray, as we know we have more rain coming, that you'll protect our residents and make sure that everybody's safe for the blessing that you send to us. Father, I ask especially that you would be with those who repair and maintain and protect us through the Sheriff's Department and other ways. Father, through the road crews and all those folks who work for the county, we pray a special blessing of protection on them. And Father, for the resources you have given us, we are so blessed to be able to have the things that we have here, and we pray that you will give us wisdom as we use those wisely, and that we will protect those resources as well. We pray these things in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen. The American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the state of Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Brother Rogers, thank you, sir, very much. All right, well, the time is 9:05. We do have a quorum, so we will call this meeting of Commissioners Court to order. Items that we have today is citizens' comments, and Ms. Goggins, one during and,
One before and then the rest of them during the, item number 10.
okay. One note, in our citizens' comments, individuals will be allowed 3 minutes apiece, and when you do speak, please give your name and your address for the record so that we can have the information that's required. I believe first up at this portion of it is a Dawn Crossley. If you would, ma'am, please come to the podium. Oh, yes, please, thank you. And again, if you would, please state your name and your address, and then we'll give you 3 minutes.
My name is Dawn Crossley, and our address is 13948 FM 315 North in Chandler, Texas. Like everyone, we didn't become aware of the wells to be drilled until last Monday, not yesterday, but a week before. And one of the reason I handed you that piece of paper is on all of the applications to drill. The phone number that's listed on this is 940-465-4437. If you trace that, it goes to a gentleman named Mr. Quinn McCauley. That phone number is listed on both the ones that are in Henderson County and the ones that are in Anderson County. And I printed out this man's background. In 2020, he graduated with a doctorate from Texas A&M Corpus Christi. What concerned me the most was his dissertation for his PhD. It says market mechanisms and efficient allocation of water, modeling water prices, option contracts on water, and enhancing frameworks. And in looking at the representation for Henderson County that's on the NACH's Trinity Valley Groundwater, we have 2 representatives. One of the representatives is actually the person that's going to be drilling, the company that's drilling these wells. And so I don't know if there's a way that y'all can either, whatever's within y'all's ability to do, but have another representative appointed to the board so that Henderson County has full representation. The 7th person right now, they have one that rotates, but that person that's rotating is not Henderson County. So that was, it concerns me greatly that these applications were actually received in September of '24. I feel that when you look at the timing, that this hearing is going to be with the Water Board is going to be in June, and we just passed the Senate Bill 7. No one's had time to even read it, understand the implications, look at how it's going to affect, and try to write new rules and regulations that's going to protect what needs to be protected. I feel that with pulling the amount of water that they're going to pull out of the aquifer, 15.5 billion gallons total between the 2 counties, and that does not include the wells that have been drilled in Houston County. I've found when you look at the tax appraisal, I think there's other LLCs that have this same people behind them. They're all different LLCs, and unless you really go in and look, you don't see who's actually behind it. So I'm just asking that at minimum before, I don't know if it can even be done before the meeting on the 19th, but since this probably will result in a contested hearing, at least someone that can be on that board that can represent Henderson County for the hearing when it's contested. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, the other individuals wishing to speak have asked that they get to speak when the item is called later in the agendas. And I do remind everyone, please silence your phones, if you would, please. Next item is court announcements. At this time, we have none to give. So item 1 is consider and take action on minutes of previously held meeting of Commissioners Court on June the 3rd, 2025. Court, questions or comments concerning the minutes from the previous meeting?
Hearing none, Judge, I move we approve the minutes of the regular session June 3rd, 2025 as presented.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley and second by Commissioner Spivey to approve the minutes of June the 3rd, 2025 as presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Oppose? Abstain? Passes 4-0-1. Item number 2 is consider and take action on request for refund of overpayment of taxes from the Henderson County Tax Assessor Collector.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have 4 refund checks for court approval totaling $25,626.79.
Court, questions, comments?
2 of these were agreed judgments, and one of them was a house that was not finished.
Yes, sir. It was put on the roll at 100% complete, and it was only 40% complete.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion for a request to refund for overpayment of taxes as presented.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson and second by Commissioner McCann to approve the request for refund of overpayment of taxes from the Henderson County Tax Assessor Collector as presented. Any further comments? All those in favor? Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Item number 3, consider and take action on request for overtime from District Clerk's Office for scanning projects to be paid from the District Clerk's Records Management Fund. Ms. Monk?
Yes, I'm sure y'all are aware that they have these funds that are similar to other funds. There's quite abundance of a fund balance in there, and it's very difficult to use the funds, but they come up with a project that they'd like to do and use these funds.
Questions, court? If I remember from past, we've done some of these years and years ago. The county clerk's office actually was doing it, and we actually built some of these in later on into their actual budget. Is this something that will be continued year?
This won't be the archives fund, which is where y'all have that budget on. This is
Okay.
records management funds. And what I understand from Mr. Sean, it's going to be a limited time right on this project. It'll help to start scanning records and
Okay.
get started on it.
Court, questions? And this is at an hourly rate. Do we need to put a cap on it, or?
She told me that these were going to be hired at $600 an hour. No, that's the other one. These are going to be their overtime. So if we can't.
Overtime,
Right,
gotcha.
she can use current employees.
Okay. Court?
So basically, we're just kind of doing a budget amendment and going to move the funds out into the,
Right, it's not even really going to require.
don't require a budget amendment?
The
Okay.
funds are there, but we have to afford it.
We'll operate them kind of like seizure funds.
Yes.
Okay. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
So moved to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Spivey and second by Commissioner Richardson to approve the request for overtime from the District Clerk's Office for scanning projects to be paid from the District Clerk's Records Management Fund. All those in favor of the motion? Passes unanimously. Item number 4 is consider and take action on request to hire part-time employees for the county clerk's office for scanning projects to be paid from the county clerk's records management fund.
Same situation, but she's going to hire outside people to come in and literally do this during the hours. And she's going to do
Court, questions?
This
Do you
be
know
just-
how long this project's gonna take?
I have no idea. They're gonna start in the criminal division, and we have a lot of files that, lots of files that need to
Like how many, like years?
be done. Years,
So,
Room's full.
so from going from, say, 2024 forward, are we scanning all those now?
those
Or,
are scanned in, yes.
so we're talking 23 and back? Or,
Well, yeah, further back, I don't know exactly what year, probably, I'm not sure if it's, 2020 maybe, back, I'm not sure
okay.
on that, on those.
Any further questions?
So this set up like, kind of like our seasonal part-times, like a 6-month job? Okay. No benefits or anything?
We'll have to see on the project.
Okay.
We may be coming back for a renewal on the project, I'm sure we will.
One thing I will add, these records management funds are not ad valorem taxes. These are fees that are paid with each filing that accumulate over the years. So these funds that we're proposing here to expend are for these very purposes. So,
And they can only be spent for certain things, then.
correct.
And it's very limited on what they can spend on.
Any further questions or comments? Entertain a motion.
So move to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Tootley and second by Commissioner McCam to approve the request to hire part-time employees for the county clerk's office for scanning projects to be paid from the county clerk's records management fund. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Item number 5 is consider and take action on setting the 2026 sheriff and constable fees. Sheriff, you want to speak to this one?
Good morning, Court. Yes, we've looked over our fees, and of course, we are getting more and more filings and writs. We're having to serve a lot of papers, as are the constables across the county. But I've looked over the fees, and I think they're good right now, the way they're set up. We're not going to ask for any increase in any fees at this time. We'd just like to keep them the same and keep moving forward.
Court, questions?
So there's no changes on the fees?
No, sir. We just have to have them, we've got to get them to the comptroller by October for them to go into effect.
This is something we'd have to do annually.
Are fees comparable to other counties?
It depends, but yes, there's a lot of counties that are higher. There's a lot of counties that are cheaper. We're kind of in the middle range of the surrounding counties in the area. But I feel with our workload, we have a lot more workload than a lot of the counties surrounding us until you get up to the Kaufman and Metroplex areas.
It has been a number of years since we have adjusted them. 5.
Yes, sir, at least about 5 years ago.
Yeah, was the last time we adjusted.
And the only thing we adjusted then was the writs that take so many hours to work through.
Any further questions or comments?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam and second by Commissioner Richardson to approve the setting of the 2026 sheriff and constable fees as presented. All those in favor of the motion? Passes unanimously.
Thank you, Court.
Thank you. Item number 6 is consider and take action to request bid proposals on county health insurance plan. Ms. Monk?
Yeah, it's been a few years since we've done this. I'm not sure that we'll really change our plan based on this we've had in the past. But it's an opportunity for us to look and see what we've got compared to what's out there on the market.
We do have a insurance committee, and Commissioner Tootley, I believe you sit on it as well,
And Commissioner Richardson.
and Commissioner Richardson. You have,
I can just say the last time that we went out to the marketplace that we may have stocked them out and got a great rate. But, I believe it's was that 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. So we're doing good. We're a better, healthy county. Since we've in our insurance and HR and ladies that do Healthy County has helped, and I think we're catching people's health before we get those main deals. But I think it's a good time to go out and visit the marketplace, because I don't think it had been done in 20 years prior to us doing it 2 years ago.
Yeah, it happened.
It happened, yes.
So, I mean, I think it's a great thing just to test the waters, and it may not do anything, but we'll probably stay the same, but it'll do it.
They held us at 0 last time, and then last year we had a 2% increase in insurance, and actually we're doing better than we ever had in the county on medical stuff. So I think it'd be good just to go out and let them know that if we don't get a good rate, then we're looking for a better one. So.
Mr. Treasurer, you're on that.
I do. And I agree. We have actually gone out for bid before. Our biggest problem is TAC is always deep. Nobody wants to bid in. And we've gotten some good rates, but our health in the last year, as we all discussed it not long ago, has been huge improvement. So we're looking for some good rates this year. So again, if we go out for bid, it keeps everybody on their toes and keeps us in the market. So yeah, we need to go out for bid. That's just healthy for us to do and look at every 2 to 3 years. So.
Court, thought, if you've heard the testimony given here by our IT committee, how do you wish to proceed?
Well, let's take about insurance committee, not IT.
Oh, I said IT. I apologize. You got so many committees. So, from what I'm hearing, that this is the best thing for us to do. It moves forward. We are doing better on our usage of the system, the plan, and if we can prod them that much more.
I'll throw out a couple of numbers or percentages. Before, I'm going to say a couple of years ago, our payout was about 194% is kind of like the break-even point, and we were at TAC was paying out over 128% of what we paid in more, and now we're down to underneath that threshold of about 78%. So that's the healthy part, that we're catching different things because we're asking for that yearly physical and that kind of stuff. So I think our numbers have gone down like 50% since we've enacted this and everything. So it's been great. So if there's no further questions, Judge, I'll make the motion to approve going out for bids.
I'll second this motion.
Go with down, please, on the committee.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley and second by Commissioner Richardson to approve the request for bid proposals on the Henderson County health insurance plan. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Item number 7 is consider and take action to expend funds from the Henderson County Security Fund with AIO Security Solutions related to panic buttons. And Court, you will remember we put out an RFQ requesting firms to present their qualifications to us, of which we then ranked and chose AIO as the vendor that was best suited to serve our needs, and had them present unto us a proposal, of which our committee, including myself, Commissioner McCam, and the sheriff, and numerous other members, IT, other members of the Sheriff's Department, and the court system to review these. And what we have presented here today is the actual cost for this. Now, this is a actual comprehensive system affecting the vast majority, those buildings that would benefit from these type of services presented here for you. It's instead of just 3 buildings, it's going to be at the commissioner's offices, the JP offices, all of these satellite locations from voters to library as we've moved into this new era of, if I might say, downright silliness, providing this extra layer because you just don't know what's going through people's minds anymore. We have to have the approval to expend these funds from the courthouse security. And I'll pass to Ms. Monks. She can elaborate upon those funds.
And those funds have been building for years. It's also another one of those funds that we collect through filings on criminal cases. The funds can only be used for courthouse securities, and we have more than sufficient funds available.
Commissioner, Sheriff, thoughts?
Well, I mean, we've met several times over this issue. We went out for qualifications. We met with another committee that's composed of some of the judges in the county. And, I mean, we have no way to move people in and out of our buildings safely. And that is a question that a lot of the judges were asking is how can we fix this? And I think this is going to be a start to that.
Sheriff?
I agree, Court. One of the biggest things that I really am looking forward to on this proposal is, like the judge said earlier, it used to be just for the 3 buildings. Now all the satellite offices, I know the commissioners have money at their dumps, and if they hit one of these buttons, then it locks down the system and notifies everybody that has a radio on, so we can get help to them immediately. And they don't have to pick up the cell phone. They don't have to pick up a landline phone. If they can just reach over and hit a button, we're going to be aware of what's going on, and we're going to be en route. It's just for the safety aspects, the satellite offices have never had this technology, and I'm looking forward to being able to provide that service to them.
I think another aspect of it is going to be the safety going in and out of the courthouse and the judicial building also with
Yes, sir.
cameras and the door alarms and all that will alert of any kind of problem.
Yes, sir. The way the courthouse is built, somebody can just walk up there and open a door from the inside, and there's no way for our security detail inside the courthouse to know that. And with this system, an alarm will sound, and we'll know that we need to go check the doors and see what's going on.
Court, questions?
Judge, the only question I have, I was going through here the other day, and it's 3 and 4s, but they don't have dump.
Well,
1 and 2 has dump buttons, but y'all don't.
but I looked at it a while ago, and it's added on there. If you look at top 2, so just one, they just didn't label it.
Please, if you would. Thank you.
It says, got it twice. Just like ours.
Precinct 3 only has 1 and 1.
Precinct 4 has it. You're right, precinct 3 does it. Maybe because it's so far.
I don't know.
Well, in this, because I am sure as we go through, there may be expansions to it. Our action here today is to give the approval to access the funds.
Okay.
Ms. Monk, do you have an issue with that? There'll be additional purchases along the way.
And then will you be,
Contract, it's just purchasing.
will there be training for these people to know when they need to push it and all that kind of
We'll
stuff?
set that up. I don't have a problem with setting that up because it needs to be for a true emergency.
Right.
But
Okay.
yes, sir.
I have no further questions.
Any further questions, Court? Entertain a motion on the approval.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam, second by Commissioner Tooley, to approve the expenditure of funds from the Henderson County Security Fund with AIO Security Solutions related to the panic buttons. Is there any further discussion? I will add that what has been presented to us that shouldn't go up too much more is about, is it 80,000? Right at $80,000 for the first section, and the second section is 74,000 roughly, just for everyone's edification. Any further comments? All those in favor of the motion? Passes unanimously. Item number 8 is consider and take action on the Henderson County Emergency Service District Number 3, 2023-2024 annual financial statements in accordance with HB 3764 for filing purposes only. Commissioner?
Yes, Court, this is a annual financial statement that all of the ESDs are required to turn in before June 1st of every year. This is one from ESD 3. They have filed an exemption and have their affidavit that they bring in less than $250,000 or have no bills that exceed $250,000 and have less than $250,000 on hand.
Questions, Court? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Henderson County Emergency Service District Number 3's 23-24 annual financial statement for filing purposes only.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson, second by Commissioner McCam to approve the Henderson County Emergency Service District Number 3, 2023-2024 annual financial statements for filing purposes only. Any further comments? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Item number 9 is consider and take action on Henderson County Emergency Service District Number 11, 2023-2024 annual financial statement in accordance with HB 3764 for filing purposes only. Commissioner?
Yes, Court, this is the same thing, just a different ESD. This is the ESD south of Athens that services Southside Fire Department. They're turning in their financial statement audit for 23-24 under the same rules of House Bill 3764, and they're under the $250,000 threshold too and have their affidavit signed.
Court, questions? Entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Henderson County Emergency Service District Number 11 for the 23-24 annual financial statement for filing purposes only.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson, second by Commissioner Spivey to approve the Henderson County Emergency Service District Number 11, 2023-2024 annual financial statement for filing purposes only. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Item number 10 is consider and take action to authorize an officer or agent to represent Henderson County to file a request with the Natchez and Trinity Valley Groundwater Conservation District contesting the application for groundwater well permit related to the Pine Bliss LLC and Redtown Ranch Holdings LLC with assistance of legal counsel. And before we begin our discussions of this, there are several individuals that have requested to speak concerning this. And first up, is a Danny Crossley, I believe. And again, as before, please state your name and your address for the record. And we'll give you 3 minutes after that, sir.
Thank you, folks, for letting us speak today. My name's Danny Crosley. I live on FM 315 north of Chandler. And I'm we're on the RPM water system, and actually it's in Van Zant County. I'm on the board. There's another gentleman here with RPM that's on the board, and our water manager's outside to let you folks know we're concerned about these applications that have been turned in for these water wells. We found out about this on Monday a week ago, and somewhat surprised about it. And I just wanted to say a few things. I'm retired from the state, and I worked about 17 years in the public water supply program for the state. And I'm saying that to you because I do understand the struggles that the water systems we have in the county and the surrounding counties have to keep people in water, to drill water wells, to find property to drill water wells, and it's a huge challenge now with all the people moving in, and the amount of water that these folks are talking about trying to achieve. I mean, it looks like they could serve maybe a couple 100,000 people or 300,000 people, depending on how you do the math and what the how people feel, how much water people will use. But the thing about it is, if they are okay to do this, and whatever this water is used for, wherever it goes, it's going to, or has the potential to greatly impact our water here in the county. And I mean, I just want you to be aware of the potential struggles that every water system is going to have in trying to keep people, our citizens in water. And it's hard to predict this much water, the impact it will have on the aquifer. I mean, I have a feeling it will take probably years for it to deplete the aquifer, but once that starts, it could be devastating. And I mean, in my opinion, it could be. But I feel like there's several people here who represent several water systems, and I know when I found out about this, I contacted several people, and that it was news to them, and just the fact that this has gone in without a lot of people really knowing about it is a concern to me. I mean, I think in the application it doesn't really give the reason for drilling the wells or the use of the water, and and if this water is going to be sent to Dallas or the Metroplex, I mean, I understand that those folks need water up there, and they've had a lot of population growth, but for them to take that water and deplete us of our water is, I mean, that may be helping them, but it's hurting us, and we need to stand up for that. And the other thing is we really don't know what the water's for, and I know this Senate Bill 7 has. I think some people in the state have finally realized that with all this growth population growth that we're having, that the state does not have water to supply everybody in water. And if they can continue on, they're going to find themselves in a lot of trouble with this. And but with that said, that doesn't mean that we need to sacrifice our water and Henderson County, Cherokee, Smith, these counties around us, because once the aquifer starts to weaken, and these wells that a lot of our population depends on, once that starts going down, we can't go push a button and fix that problem. So I hope we can find a way to stand up to this and express our concerns, and hope that someone can't take our water simply for investment purposes. So,
Mr. Grassley, thank you, sir.
So,
Crossley,
thank you for
I'm
your
sorry.
time. I appreciate it.
I apologize. We do have 3 minutes, Mr. Cross. Thank you. No, you're good. You're good. Next individual that wished to speak on this item is Casey Seal, I believe. Again, please state your name and your address, and once you've completed, we'll give you 3 minutes.
My name is Casey Seal. I live at 11047 County Road 4831, LaRue, Texas. I'm a third-generation small business owner and farmer that has been on that property. My grandfather started it back in the 90s, and we used to have shallow wells, and every August, my grandmother trying to water the garden and water plants, as a kid, we had to watch how much I played in a water sprinkler because our wells, shallow wells, would go dry. My grandfather finally got ahead far enough in life, and he drilled a Wilcox well. That changed everything for our small farm. And the fact that the land is going to go to my son and it's going to be a generational thing. And what I'm afraid of is they're going to lower our water table, and all that time and money my grandfather put in working his whole life to be able to afford a Wilcox well is going to be for nothing. You know, he spent nearly $30,000 on that well. And if they lower our water table, then that puts our farm back to, are we going to have enough water to even water cattle or grow vegetables or anything like that, water the chickens? And so that's my main concern. And I was also concerned about the fact that I felt like this was kind of snuck under the table because I didn't find out about this till about 3 days ago. And I kind of feel like it was kept hush-hush, you know. I mean, I don't know what this is going to do to our water level, but I'm here to say that I oppose it. I want to be able to keep our small farms so they can still operate without sending water somewhere else that we need. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. The next individual that is requested is a Johnny Parker.
Judge, can I go last? Let other people front first. I'll follow up.
We will move on to a Mr. Keith Bristow.
Good morning. My name's Keith Bristow, Post Office Box 174, Pointer, Texas, 75782. I'm here representing the Pointer Water Supply Corporation. Kevin Dees is our board president, and he's also in attendance. Our Water Supply Corporation currently has 477 connections. We have 2 water wells, one in Henderson County and one in Anderson County. Our Henderson County well is in close proximity to where these proposed wells are going to be. Our service area actually goes to part of that property. In the month of May, we produced 2,512,600 gallons. The proposed wells are going to be capable of producing 5,164,020,000 gallons per year, which my calculations are correct. That's 14,148,000 gallons per day, which is approximately 6 times what we produce in a month. So we feel that these wells will adversely affect our system. So we actually had a board meeting last night, and it was our monthly meeting, and approved a letter on behalf of the water system to oppose the permitting. And we would appreciate whatever the court can do to help us in this, to take that action. Thank y'all.
Thank you, sir. The next individual that wishes to speak is a Janelle Cole.
My name is Janelle Cole, and I live at 303 Lovers Lane in Malakoff. And I think you know that we're all opposed to this, so I'm going to go at this a little bit different. I'm wondering how these people were appointed to their jobs on this board, considering that one of them, the one that is going to do the drilling, we heard earlier, is in that business. So my question would be, why is someone not unaffiliated with the water drilling business appointed to this board? That's my first question. My second question is, how will these people be held responsible? I think we all feel like this was done behind closed doors. We know that there was closed door sessions, which I don't really understand why a water conservation board needs to have a closed door session. It would seem like everything that should be discussed should be public and open. But they've failed to do what the mission of this board is, which was to conserve and preserve the county's water. So I would like to know how these guys are going to be held accountable for doing this, for sneaking around. I don't even want to suggest what they possibly are doing, but. And then my last question is, why were the appointees why are they not held accountable? Why are they not reporting back to, I was told that the commissioners appoint these people. I don't know if that's true, but whoever appoints them, why do they not come back and say, hey, this is what's going on at the board meeting, this is what we're discussing, so that we aren't finding out about this stuff a year and a half after the first proposal? That's all I have.
Thank you. The next individual is a Dennis Shelby. Please.
My name is Dennis Selby. I'm the mayor of Berryville, Texas. 1 month on the job today. Address is 11224 Greenbrier Boulevard in Berryville, Texas. I was made aware of this application because a neighbor of mine actually has property there that he has cattle running on about a week and a half ago. So interesting in that they only had to notify people within a half mile. You know, I'm sure they had their experts and said, listen, we're not going to affect anything. But if we did, it would probably only be within a half mile, so that's all we need to notify. We see that's kind of blown up a little bit. We have a lot more people out there. So started doing some research, found out that in the Pine Bliss area, they're talking about 5,600 acre-feet of water per year. It's a lot of water. There's only 3,000 acres in this tract. You could put 2 feet of water on that property every year. That's a lot of water. What are we going to do with it? We don't know. All we know is that it's going to be for beneficial use, as it states in the application. But also in the rules of the district, it says under Rule 14, if you're going to transport that water, you have to file for a permit. We're going to drill 22 wells, and we don't have a permit to transport it anywhere, haven't even applied for it, it's not out there, something's not right. And also, this is a shared natural resource available to this part of the state. We are very blessed to have these type of resources. I don't understand how we can let a private entity take that, monetize that for their benefit. And what benefit do we get? We don't. We get a potential, detriment. I'm just trying to put this in a thing. I'm a visual person. So I said, if I take a 5-gallon bucket, just a water bucket, I've got 22 straws in that bucket. I've drilled a few holes around there, and I'm going to stick that bucket in a pool of water, just a swimming pool. Okay, I can pull out those 22 straws for a period of time. It's going to slowly fill up through those other holes the same way an aquifer would. But now I'm going to take the bottom of that bucket out. There's no restriction now. And that's what we've got with this aquifer. We're putting 22 holes in the ground, no restrictions, no ability to monitor or even look at any type of delivery system down the road that says, you know what, we're drawing down. We need to protect our citizens. We're not. We've got a private entity that says, nope, we got contracts we're selling. I just don't see the benefit of it. So without some type of restrictions, monitoring, even future restrictions that says, hey, our aquifer's starting to drop, you get to pull back. We can't, I can't see that we can accept this type of movement from this board. So I would ask that the county here try to work to deny this permit. So thank you for your time.
Thanks, sir.
Good job.
The next individual that is requested is a Troy Slaughter.
My name's Troy Slaughter. I'm the general manager for Virginia Hill Water. I live at 7869 County Road 41511. I've been the general manager for the last 4 years, and I've worked at Virginia Hill for 21 years now. Everybody talks like this is going to take a little while when this happens. I had 3 wells drilled within a half a mile of one of my producing wells, my main well at my plant. We spent $27,000 to drop that well with 3 wells. This isn't going to take long. This isn't going to be the deal. But I think what everybody needs to realize is this permit stage is just the first. We can all gripe and get them to deny this permit. They're immediately going to take it into court on appeal. And at that point, you're talking about they've got a big group of lawyers. Us little water companies can't afford the lawyers they can. What we really need to get to a point of is how are we going to fight it past this stage? I've got my attorney, Chase Palmer, and he's working with an attorney out of Tennessee that specializes in this. I talked to Mark, the county's attorney, and them. I don't know that WSCs can partner with the county. I know cities can. I don't know the answer if we can partner with y'all and pull our money together and do this. But that's really where we're going to have to get on this thing real quick, is getting everybody organized, getting everybody to do it. I think the first question that needs to be asked is, why are they not drilling in their county? Why are they coming to our county? I think everybody knows the answer to that is they've exhausted all their resources there, and drilling these wells is a whole lot cheaper than having to build a reservoir and actually creating water for what they need. And that's what they're trying to do, is come in and take our resources without creating anything and ship it to where they've exhausted all theirs. But I think the big thing that everybody needs to look at is this is just the first stage of this. We're going to have to get attorneys. We're going to have to get ready for that. When they do deny this, and I think there's going to be enough outcry that they are going to deny the permits, but all they're going to do is appeal it, and then it's going to go to a courtroom, and then we're going to have funds and lawyers to fight this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well said. Thank you.
And the last individual is Johnny Parker.
Good morning, Court. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, especially Ms. Spivey, for inviting me this morning to come and talk to you all here. My name is Johnny Parker. Address is 13160 County Road, 4220, Tyler, Texas, 75706. I just recently became aware of this issue, too. I'm in the water business, just so everybody knows here. I'm not here to promote myself. I know what's going on. This is nothing new. What Mr. Bass and his organization are trying to do to these counties. It's going to affect not only Anderson, Henderson, Cherokee, and the counties that are involved with this now. It's going to affect all of East Texas. It started at Lake of the Pines, cattle industry. I mean, not the cattle industry, but Cato, Cattle Lake Institute was successful with stopping that for 2 years. I've been in contact with individuals that have been abreast and know what's going on and so forth and so on. I'm bringing the information to the communities. And everybody in here can agree, from what I've heard today, are very, very concerned about our water and our natural resources. And we should all be. It's not just a county problem. It's a worldwide problem. And the gentleman just made a good point. It's going to take a good legal team to fight these guys. These guys are they're bad, let me put it that way. And they got a lot of influence, they got a lot of money, and they got a lot of power. This particular individual's already spent $125 million in this state alone with 37,000 acres. He's strategically buying property in areas that have water. And I'm going to read a statement from what he had done for an interview at his house. And just take me a second to do this. The interviewer went to Mr. Bass's house in Dallas, which is where he's located at, and he's allocated $125 million, which I just told you. Now, it goes in and says, now Bass says this is enough external investor demand to launch a second venture under the same strategy, only this time it will be bigger. Then he goes on and he says, we're focusing on mitigating, offsetting physical impacts on the environment. Bass said in the video interview from his home in Dallas, we're going to make a pretty penny in doing so. And this is coming from this guy that's coming here to take our water and take it to Dallas to be sold as a commodity. And he also goes back and he talks about environment and investing. He says, if we can do it at scale, that's the holy grail. Then he goes on and he says, we're charging impactors dearly for the impacts. Bass said, we're going to get the net gains and what's going to be impacted. And he also says, additionally, by Bass, he'll generate revenue from selling the land's timber, water resources, where the geology is right, and he also may charge companies to store carbon capture underground. You're going to see tens of billions of dollars spent in these markets over the next decade. So what all he's saying to us and all of us in these communities is he's going to hedge water. And he's going to hedge all our natural resources. And everybody in this room understands East Texas has the most water in this state. People down south don't have it. Canyon Lake is just about dried up. They're sending all their water to San Antonio and all the metropolitan areas. The same thing is occurring here. And I agree with everyone in this room and everybody here is saying that it was snuck under the rug. It's been in motion for a year. It's just now we're getting the attention of it and we're finally finding out what's going on. Now, as far as the guy that's drilling this, I have copies of the permits. It's going to be Henderson and Foster. And I'm going to put the names out there because they're going to come out eventually anyway. But Henderson and Foster, Donald Foster is on this water board. And he excused himself from the vote. Know why'd he do that? Because he has an interest from Mr. Bass and his conglomeration to do that. So it goes back to the court again. I would ask on behalf of the lady that stood up before and asked and the individuals in this court, why hasn't this guy been approached and why hasn't he reported back to the county on what his interests are? So with moving forward, I've helped Anderson County in the same way. I'm here to help Henderson County and all the surrounding counties to beat this guy. I know how to do it. This isn't the first time it has to be done, but it's going to take every single solitary citizen in East Texas to make him go away. He's focusing here in Texas, Tennessee, and his hometown of Florida. He has no other concerns in the U.S. but these three states. And if he is allowed to get his foot in one community, which he's trying to do now, it's going to allow other individuals to come in and do the exact same thing, and we're all going to be in the same situation as the rest of the people in this state. We have a chance to stop it, and we all need to stand together, and we need to band together to make it go away. With that being said, I'm sorry it took more than what I needed to do, but that's just the beginning of it.
Thank you, Mr. Parker.
Thank you.
All right, please. We're all enthusiastic about it, but we are in a court setting. Please, thank you. Court, we have the item called, and we have heard the testimony here today concerning this. I'm going to call Mr. Strawn up, legal counsel for the county, to kind of lay out for us what we have before us here. And then we'll get into the discussion after that.
Good morning, Court.
Good morning.
For people that don't know me in the audience, I work with the Henderson County Attorney's Office. I'm a prosecutor in that office. I'd like to thank all the public speakers today, excellent speakers. What this court needs to do is determine if the county has standing to go forward on filing a contest. If the county has standing, you would be determining whether the county is affected by the granting of these water wells. So hearing people in the unincorporated portions of the county speak today, that's probably been established that there is standing, and that there would be an effect on the county. The next thing you would need to do is nominate somebody that could represent the county, kind of have one voice to represent us in any kind of hearings. That could be the county judge, a commissioner in that precinct, or someone else that you all designate as that person. And then thirdly, if you believe there is enough public interest, and you can see from the crowd today there may be, how you want to be represented in that, if you want counsel. These are complicated issues. The attorneys in the county attorney's office are very competent. It's something they could ordinarily handle if they had no other duties. However, the county attorney's office has so many other statutory duties that we owe to the public, timely criminal dockets, child protection services, and open records, which are very timely, amongst many other duties, contract review. Other counties in this region have sought out the engagement of Allison and Bass, a law firm out of Austin that specializes, as you know, in representing counties. Anderson County has nominated their Judge McKinney, Carrie McKinney. Leon County has nominated their county judge, Byron Ryder. And Houston County has nominated their county judge, Jim Lovell. And all three of those counties have sought out Allison and Bass to represent them in any kind of contest. This morning, Cherokee County is also in Commissioner's Court in making that determination. So one benefit of seeking out outside law is that they'll have more time than my office would to devote to this issue. And secondary, they can kind of pool these resources. Instead of having several attorneys go and represent several counties, you could have one law firm representing multiple entities and kind of pooling those resources and sharing ideas and how they want to contest this. And so if they're standing, if there's an effect, a public interest, then you would nominate somebody to pursue this contest, and then you could seek out the engagement of Allison and Bass Law Firm. So I know that, as someone mentioned, the other East County or other counties in East Texas, Harrison, Marion, Upshur, Gregg, maybe Smith, have been fighting this issue with Caddo and Lake of the Pines, and so it's kind of, I guess, moving this way. And so we know that Anderson, Leon, and Houston have already pursued this. Today, the question is for Henderson County and Cherokee County. So,
Court, questions? What's laid out before us? What we have is an engagement letter to engage with Allison and Bass, and this court is well familiar with that law firm. No relation to Kyle Bass in that.
I was going to mention that.
Definitely. I will say Jim Allison comes from, I believe, Delta County, which is a small rural county. He has rural interests at heart. He has been our advocate in Austin for 30 years, and he has assisted us with many other legal matters. This firm is a very well-respected firm in addressing county matters.
McGee's from Henderson County.
And
correct?
McGee,
Allison Bass and McGee.
And McGee, he is actually from Anderson County, from Bodart, actually. And they get much more rural than Bodart. This organization is well-tooled to assist us in this. Court, there's some other things I want to get to as well, but on this particular portion of it with Allison and Bass. Thoughts?
Well, I think just with the amount of people we have here today and the passion and engagement that we have, that it's something we're going to have to do is engage with Allison and Bass. I mean, water is fixing to quickly become our most precious resource. And it's not like, just like the guy spoke earlier, it's not like when they're pumping oil and they got to pay everybody that lives above it. They go to pumping this water, they don't have to pay anybody. They just have to have enough money to drill these high-capacity wells. And the last speaker was very informative. I'd like to hear him speak more. But this is not going to be the end of it. And there's not Texas is a big property rights state, and there's not a whole lot that we can do except protest and let them know that we don't want this. And let these people know that we don't want them hedging our water. I mean, this is so somebody can make billions or trillions. The money is, we won't even be able to fathom how much money it's going to be worth 20 years from now, 30 years from now, this water. And he even states that he really doesn't know what he's going to do with it right now. He knows exactly what he's going to do with it. He just don't know how he's getting it there yet. But this is going to be our biggest fight, is natural resources, and water's number one, because we can't do anything without water. We can go back to the horse and buggy if we don't have oil, but we can't live without water. So I think we have to engage with them.
Commissioners?
I agree. You know, nobody likes to pay attorney fees and stuff, but I think it'd be tax dollars well spent if we can keep this off, because if it does happen, you'll be paying this money in water bills, because they will increase. And then when it's gone, it's gone. It may not be in our generation, but we're looking out for future generations to have water and stuff too. Like I say, we've seen some of these other aquifers be depleted. We see what's going on out in California with their water and stuff, and they're moving this way. And like I always said, you know, back in the past, when the Indians ran out of water, the creek dried up, they got up and moved. We're not doing that nowadays. We found out ways where they can pump water from somewhere else, and that's what they're wanting to do. But we don't want to have to move away from here either. We like where we are, and we want to keep our water here. Like I always said, this is the 21st century, and there's ways to extract salt out of water straight from the ocean, but it's costly. They're looking at the cheapest route to go to produce drinking water, because out of the Wilcox, you can pull it out and drink it straight out of the well without any treatment. And our water's some of the purest here that doesn't have to be treated. Looking at the scales and stuff in that deal, they're below 1,000 microns of something. I forgot what it is. I'm not a scientist at it, but it said that some of this water that comes out of the ground here is some of the purest drinking water. It doesn't have to have very little treatment to it. So.
Commissioners?
I just want to say thank you for the interest of the people that got up and spoke today. Mr. Parker, I believe we met over in Van Zandt County when we were trying to deny some other permits with biosolids. And I want to appreciate you for coming out of Smith County to help us in Henderson County and what you've done throughout things that we've asked you to come and speak at. So thank you, sir, for what you've done. One of the things I think as a commissioner that we're elected to do, and I don't have a script, I just have what people wrote or said, that we're elected to do is to take care of our citizens and our constituents and our resources that we have native to Henderson County. And I will stand with you. I'll go to board meetings or wherever we need to go to help fight to keep our natural resources here. It does go through my precinct, but not as much. My precinct is more, I want to say, urbanized. They use a freshwater district that has that, but I do have some area that's north of my precinct that has that this aquifer runs from, and I know that there's people out there that's on that. More resides probably on the eastern end of the county that's more rural that really has a need for this aquifer. So my question is to Mr. Strom is that you said that other counties have said that they've appointed their county judge, but they've also done the Allison and Bass deal for the attorneys. So does that mean that our county, if those people are using their county judge to give some history and to fight it, and I'm not trying to throw you underneath the bus, but I'm going to make the motion, so you be ready. But so we're going to have Allison Bass lead the charge, and then if we need any kind of testimony of Henderson County or whatever, that's what those people have done, is ask their county judge to do that information?
Allison Bass could call multiple witnesses, whoever they want. They just need to speak to someone that can speak for the county. And so...
Will you get Mr. Parker's phone number when you leave here?
He can be a witness, absolutely. And anyone today can be a witness. That's going to be up to that law firm to kind of delve into the facts and see how they want to do that. But they will need a voice from the county that can speak on behalf of the county.
Okay.
And so
what I'm going to tell the constituents is, the people that are here today and the people across Henderson County, is the way that you help is to show up to this Natchez and Trinity Valley Groundwater Conservation meeting, and we're going to storm it. And be there. Yes, we appoint people or a person to that board, and we hope that they have, when they send in their resume, that they have the best interest in Henderson County, not knowing that this would go on, and I can't tell you who the guy is because we do so many of those. But stay abreast, stay afloat, and tell your friends. I believe Commissioner Spivey, and I've seen it go around, has one of these documents that needs to be filled out by everybody that has a voice, and we go to work, and it's boots on the ground from today forward until we defeat this permit, our permits. Thank you, Judge.
I'd like to say I've had a lot of people reaching out to me since Monday. I learned about it last Monday also. Commissioner Richardson and I have been adamant about getting people to fill out. I did bring a whole lot of forms, and I can pass them out if you need one. I've been passing them out all week. I even had some hung on my door at my office over the weekend. Commissioner Richardson's been on the phone all weekend, very adamant about this. I could go on and on. I have the same feelings of all of you out there. I oppose this, and will fight as much as I can to help get this stopped. But I kind of was thinking, I'm not trying to take it away from the judge, but I would like to see Commissioner Richardson be the voice of it, since it's in his precinct and he's been fighting it already. But I'll go with anybody. Everybody's great on this court. But thank you all for coming and voicing your opinions, and let's show up June 19th. I know I'm going to go to that meeting and be there. But thank you all.
One thing that I wanted to get to, there's been some specific questions, but before I do that, I want to give some recognition to our state representatives, Representative Keith Bell, Representative Cody Harris, and Representative Trent Ashby, and also Senator Robert Nichols, and their engagement into this issue on our behalf. Because what is being proposed and the whole mechanisms are set up are a direct result of state law. And currently, in the state of Texas, as most recently upheld, if y'all remember Ozarka, the Ozarka issue that came in that actually was the impetus for the creation of our groundwater conservation district. The rule of capture is the law of the land. The Texas Supreme Court has made that ruling. Interesting enough, with another Henderson County case, Cipriano versus, it was one of Ozarka's parent companies. And in that ruling, they ruled that, or reaffirmed the rule of capture. So the engagement of these three representatives and our Senator Robert Nichols is going to be crucial in the long term, because as was stated earlier about the legal battle. that is where this is going to be. And there was a specific statement about water supply corporations and counties working together in these matters. Do you have a legal opinion on that right now? There are agreements that are available, but
There are, I would defer to Allison Bass just because it's such a legal issue.
Okay.
But there may be some interlocal agreement, maybe. So that's something that could be looked into.
okay. Let me make sure I've got them. One of the, and I'm not sure if any of it has looked at the enabling legislation for the Natchez and Trinity Valley Groundwater Conservation District, but it's in the Title VI, subsection H, Chapter 8863, where it defines the appointment process and the powers. Please familiarize yourselves with that as we move forward and with the water code to help make yourselves more knowledgeable and engaging in this fight, because this first shot, as said, is just the first shot. 300,000. I grew up on the Carrizo-Wilcox Aquifer. Gentleman stated earlier about a shallow well. I grew up on one of those shallow wells, and you're exactly right. There you are. In 1980 and in 1996, that well that we lived on went dry, and it was a shallow well. We couldn't run a washing machine. It was too taxing on the well, and it wasn't until 2000 that we set down a Wilcox well ourselves. And you're right, it's a game changer. That puts where I live out on the outcrop of this, which we can hit water 140 feet. Further east you go, the deeper it gets. This on the western side is going to be impacted first as this begins to lower. So this, when we're talking about groundwater, it affects everybody. And for those that have the experience, I actually drew water from the well when we had the Snowmageddon. I was drawing water out of that well with a bucket because of no electricity. These are important resources and capabilities. Other questions that were asked. There's the shallow well. Trying to make sure I got them all. The impact of Senate Bill 7. As was stated earlier, it will come into play, but unfortunately, depending on when the legislation or when the next items happen, we may not get the benefit of Senate Bill 7, depending on what legal action takes place, because it is not currently enacted during this, and it can only be governed by the enacting law at the time.
Most statutes do not become retroactive. You're going to have a grandfather clause on 99% of statutes. They're not going to go backwards. So they're going to be this date forward.
So again, we got a hill to climb, but we can at least make them know we were here one way or the other. And I want to keep both my wells, just like all of you, and even those that don't live in the rural areas but depend on wells with the wells of our water corporations. Our water corporations are a huge resource to us, so much so that we engaged with them to assist in their backup power requirements with our ARPA funding. These are all important issues to us, and we know that if we don't have the water, we can't have the people, we can't have what we've got here. So, court?
And that's a good point, Judge, for standing. If property values lower, people start moving out, it affects tourism, I think that would have standing for the county. And then obviously the detriment of losing your water. So,
I will say that currently, in the estimation of water usage, the current estimation, they have our area grossly underestimated in the state plan. And that is something that the city of Athens has been engaged in, trying to correct that in the plan. They underestimate us because of our population. And it's more beneficial to be underestimated and to help the more densely populated areas. I mean, that drives most decisions at the state level. I don't know if y'all remember Clyde Alexander. He was former state representative here. And when he chose not to run for office again, he stated to us on the Commissioners Court at that time that, boys, they got us licked. At that point in time, the state legislature became dominated by densely populated rural areas. They had more representation at the legislature than the rural areas do, starting about 2001. And that is what Representative Alexander told me, former Judge Tommy Smith, Cleburne Shaver, that court at that time. And we have seen over the last 20 years, look at rural health care. What's happened in rural health care? The interests are not in the rural Texas. Where the votes are, they're in the metropolitan areas. So we have to be louder, we have to be smarter, and we have to be more determined. So, with that, I'll hush. Court, further thoughts?
I was waiting for chapter 3. Out of the book.
Well, Court, if there is anything further you would like to add, Mr. Strong?
Nothing further, Court. I thank you for taking up this agenda item this morning.
Right.
Thank you, Court.
Court, final comments? If not, entertain a motion on the appointment and the engagement letter.
I'd like to make the motion to authorize an officer, and I would also like to nominate or authorize the county judge. I think commissioner would be an excellent choice also, but I think the county judge would be more viewed as being a representative of the entire county. I mean, we represent the county, but our precincts are what we're looked at as being looking over. And I think the county judge would be better able to represent the entire county. So I'm gonna say county judge as the officer or agent to represent Henderson County to file a request with the Natchez and Trinity Valley Groundwater Conservation District contesting the application for groundwater well permit related to Pine Bliss LLC and Redtown Ranch Holdings LLC with the assistance of legal counsel. Do we need to say
With
who the legal
authorization.
counsel?
No, just
Okay.
authorization.
With authorization of the county judge to sign.
I'll second his motion.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam and second by Commissioner Richardson to approve the authorization of the county judge to represent Henderson County to file a request with the Natchez and Trinity Valley Valley Groundwater Conservation District contesting the application for groundwater well permit related to Pine Bliss LLC and Redtown Ranch Holdings LLC with the assistance of legal counsel and authorization to sign necessary documents. Is there any further discussion?
I want to say one thing, is find the phone number to Natchez and Trinity Valley and start calling. This paper is good, but a phone call and a personal contact, call them and tell them that you oppose it. That's all I have.
I will add that there has been some confusion about where to file those, and that is with the groundwater district. Those need to be at that location.
And you should get a confirmation back.
Yes.
That they have received it.
And there is an address or an email address on that letter, isn't there? Yes.
Yeah.
And the deadline.
Yes,
19.
yes, the 19th.
What
Yeah.
time is that on the 19th? Is it
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock on the 19th?
Yeah, 11 o'clock on June 19th.
They changed it? I thought it was 1 o'clock. That's when the meeting is.
Yeah, the deadline is 11 o'clock.
We got the hearing, we need to make sure everybody.
Yes, please. Court, any further discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion? It passes unanimously. Item number 11, receive financial reports. We have the financial reports for the judiciary. These will be available for court or for view of the public after court in the county clerk's office, if so wish to. Item number 12 is consider and take action on payroll distributions and accounts cash sheet. Mr. Bynum.
Yes, Court. So, this morning I've got bi-weekly number 11 and the distribution totals for the final voting as well to get approved this morning.
Court, questions on the two payrolls, bi-weekly 11 and the voting? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the payroll disbursement totals bi-weekly number 11 and the payroll for voting.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Spivey and second by Commissioner Tooley to approve the payroll disbursements for bi-weekly number 11 and the final for our voting expenditures. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously, and we have the accounts cash sheet.
We do, and so I have the March accounts cash sheet that I need to get approved also, please.
Court, questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
So move to approve for ending March 25 cash counts.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson, second by Commissioner Tooley, to approve the cash account sheets for a period ending March of 2025. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously.
Thank you, Court.
Thank you. Item 13, consider and take action on submitted contracts. We have none. Item 14 is consider and take action on requests for right-of-way permits.
No right-of-way.
Item 15 is consider and take action on submitted budget amendments, of which we have none. Item 16 is consider and take action on payment of bills. Ms. Carpenter.
Yes, sir. Fiscal year 2025, in the amount of $459,197.25.
Commissioner Spivey, questions?
No questions, Judge.
Commissioner Tooley?
I have none.
Commissioner McCann?
I have none.
Commissioner Richardson?
Just no questions. That's one of them, $227,000 was a payment on our American Rescue Plan. They're coming along with the senior citizens in our Texas A&M Agri-Life building should be completed by the end of August.
Really?
We're looking at the end of August, 1st September, so.
If there's no further discussion, entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the fiscal year 2025 bills in the amount of $459,197.25 as presented.
I'll second this motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson and second by Commissioner Spivey to approve the bills in the amount of $459,197.25. Is there any further comments? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Item 17, consider and take action on submitted plats. No plats. Item 18, open and consider bids. Mr. Torres.
Morning. So this first packet is the rebid for the asphalt products that go along with our road materials. Our proposed dates is first ad this Saturday, June 14th, second ad next Saturday, June 21st. Open the bid Tuesday, July 1st, and then come back to court Tuesday, July 8th.
Court, questions?
On this part of this asphalt bid, we've got notifications sent out to vendors. Vulcan, East Texas Asphalt, Unique Paving, Cleveland Asphalt, Ergon Asphalt, Bryan Asphalt, and Asphalt Hatch Enterprises. I think on our bid, didn't aggregate haulers bid on something also?
They do. I added aggregate haulers, Blaze Group, and 4M also reached out and wanted to be. I think I provided that. I'm not sure if I added 4M on a second email, but yeah.
Oh, I see it now. I think I see it now. Okay. Yeah, as long as they get on there, because they did bid in the first go-around, so we need to make sure that they get on there for, I think they was hauling oil sand or something, selling us oil sand at a haul price.
So now that we have this bid notification that was sent to vendors, do we have a way to say that they opened the email and received the email?
I don't know that IT can give me like a red receipts or whatever to know. The only thing I can do is at the end I add, will you please reply with the confirmation that you got it? And then that's when we'll know if they get it for sure.
Okay.
Any further questions concerning the asphalt bid? Please silence your phones. If there's no further questions on the asphalt bid, entertain a motion.
So move to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson, and seconded by Commissioner McCann to approve the request for bid specifications for the 2025 asphalt bid. Any further discussions? All those in favor? Passes unanimously.
We also have the fiscal year 2025 haul and transport bid. That's usually the bid that goes along with the road material. Same dates, first ad June 14th, second ad June 21st, open the bid July 1st, and then bring it back July 8th. And then the vendors for this one's S&S Trucking, Woodrum, I believe, and 4M. And one that we're missing is Dodson. They submitted a bid last year. And I have their contact information as well.
I think the top company is out of business.
S&S is out of business? Okay.
Really?
Like last year, after we approved them, I got an email.
Okay.
But I would send it to them anyway, just to
Yeah.
see if we get something back.
Okay.
Questions concerning haul and transport? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
So move to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley and second by Commissioner Spivey to approve the fiscal year 2025 haul and transport bid specifications as presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously.
Last, we have fiscal year 2025 bulk fuel. Same dates, June 14th, June 21st. Open July 1st and bring back July 8th. The vendors for this, that should receive this, is Eagle Fuel or Beckett, Coal Distributing, and Dial Lubricants. They're a new vendor that reached out recently.
We used to use a long time ago with bid, I don't know if they are bidding anymore, the Hubert Glass out of Jacksonville.
Hubert Glass.
Make sure that they probably at least get a bid packet. They do have a transport place here in Athens, so.
They used to provide all service and pump service. Pump service was extremely beneficial.
I believe
locally.
their location in Athens closed down.
They closed it?
I'm pretty sure it closed down last year, but I'll reach out and we can.
Is Henderson County on your side of town? Is
Yeah.
it open?
Yeah, it's open.
Okay.
You can send one of them, but he normally.
Who was that?
Doesn't bid. He said everybody else is too competitive for him to.
competitive.
Yeah, but you can send it to Henderson County Fuel and Oil.
Henderson County Fuel.
Any further questions or comments concerning the bulk fuel bid? Entertain a motion.
So moved to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson and seconded by Commissioner McCam to approve the 2025 bid specifications for bulk fuel as presented. Any further comments? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Torres. Did we get everything signed? Item 19, consider and take action to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley and seconded by Commissioner Richardson to adjourn at 10:35 a.m. All those in favor of the motion? Passes unanimously. Thank you for being with us today.